All right, I think when I drafted with PPR Tyler yesterday, this thing was at like 10% full or something. So pretty sure it's at like 80% after I slept. You sickos don't give anything a chance, do you? 8 hours later, and you filled almost the whole contest. Let's see, I forgot to share my screen here. That's the one I'm looking for. I should probably make that fit in the box over here. A little bit better that way, huh? I'll have to scroll up here so you guys can see the contest. But yeah, this flock community contest is already at 82.7% full. It was at 7% yesterday. Some sicko shit. I mean, they're going to drop a bunch of them, so whatever. We get it, but still pretty wild, isn't it? That fast. Whoops, that's not the one I want. That's the one I want. Already 82.7% full. I did one of them. It's a 3-entry max. I'll probably do all 3 of them. Might do the other 2 right now. I don't know how quick they'll fill, but I could also do a Husky, BBM. We'll see what we feel like getting into. I know these take a minute at this point in the day, so let's see if we can maximize this for the viewing audience and get you guys as much of what we can do here. That's probably not bad. Yeah, it might be okay, huh? We'll see once the board comes up. Either way, let's jump into the flock contest. If you want to draft with me, waiting on 9. These could take a minute at this hour. Honestly, don't know for sure. Goofy time of day. We finally get a little bit of a break from the heat here. What was when I woke up like 54 degrees or something? Yeah, it doesn't show it there. I checked my phone. 54 degrees on the dot. Memory's still working a little bit. 7 left. So people are up and about it. I did post this on Twitter, so I didn't go live. I forgot to click. I meant to click the live when I made the StreamYard link and only made it for YouTube. I meant to go live to Twitter too. You can tell I haven't done it in a minute. But hopefully people find the live link, and anyone that's actually awake at these ridiculous hours, come on in and draft with us. I suppose it's only late night if you're on the West Coast. It's kind of early morning here on the East Coast. Either way, doing what I can to make sure we've got these best ball drafts going damn near around the clock, 24/7. Now that it's August and we've got football back on the TV, we're going to try and get football back on the tube as well. Let's see. I wonder if there's anywhere else I could share it in one of the Discords, I guess. I'll just wait a couple minutes. It'll fill eventually. These are filling fast enough. I mean, it just went from, 9 to 6 and within 2 minutes here, so it'll fill up. We'll see who gets in here. These are kind of, if you look at the advance rates of these, you got to win the thing. I mean, you got to get out of your pod first and foremost. Eventually, we'll get there. It is, I got to get best ball overlay out of the way for this. It's 1 of 12, 1 of 2, 1 of 2. So it's nice you just win your pod. Then it's just head-to-head matchups and then 100-seat final. So you want like a good team, but it's not a ridiculous final. But basically, you got to win your pod first and foremost, and then kind of flip coins for 2 weeks. So waiting on 3 for the flock community contest. Max of 3 for the first one. I'm guessing they'll be max of 3s, and they'll probably drop. I don't know. I think there was like 5 or 6 of them last year, if I remember correctly. watermelon and honey green tea this morning. I guess I could show you some of this real quick. I'll just go through some of the stuff that I bookmarked. Travis Hunter, good day on offense. Looks like Tank Bigsby going to be Jags RB1. I mean, as per this report, ETN mixing in. Chiefs running back rotation very clearly 1A Pacheco, 1B Hunt, 2 Mitchell, 3 Smith, 4 Steele. Interesting tidbit there. Starting to get kind of JT Sanders pilled too, seeing some of these highlights. I don't know if that's a good thing. Curious what's happening with Cam Scatabo there. Tedero looks like he's got sticky hands. The more and more I see about JMO, especially when I see people like Ryan Heath on it, I mean, feels like he's one of those guys you got to target there. Waiting on 2 more for the Flock Community Contest. Can never tell if this damn thing's muted. I guess now the StreamYard put that thing up on the screen. That's kind of cool. I guess that helps a little bit, right? I gotta start playing around with this more. I haven't been on StreamYard in a minute. Changed a few things up. 2 more for a Flock Community Contest. $10 stream, $10 draft. Gonna do 2 of them this stream, is what I was trying to say before I fumbled all my wording. Can you tell it's 6:07 a.m. here? I'm guessing most of the people are still asleep because most people were streaming about 5 hours ago. Two more for the Flock Community Contest. Good way to warm up for your fantasy football drafts because you have to win this one to get out anyhow. So I guess it's a good way to practice building quality teams at all positions, I guess is the way to think of it. Like you kind of want to cover your bases at all. Like you have to get out of your pod first and foremost. It's not top 2, it's top 1. So I guess the way I'm thinking of that is go ahead and fill out your team first. At all the I mean, you could try and patchwork one of the positions together, I guess. 100-seat final. I mean, you're going to have a lot of teams, I guess, that'll have elites at positions. I still feel you're going to have to build a good quality team at every position and hope it holds. Two more Flock contest. You only get 3 of them, and it's 82% full, so one more, and we will be off and rolling. This keeps up, I might get into my second green tea before the draft even starts. Give it our minute, and if not, I'll go through some more. More of the reports on X. Not doing much anything else, right? It's so awesome that I can drag that over there or up here or wherever I want to and not even put it on the screen. All right, I guess we're full. We're going to go ahead and draft this now. Let's see who we got in here. Move the StreamYard over there. I'm going to pop up another draft board and put it up on my big screen. Oh, sorry about that. Didn't mean to have that in you guys' way, but now I got that up there. Anybody we know in here? I don't think so. If you're in here watching and you're in the draft, let me know and I'll shout you out. Good luck to you if you are. We got some badges up in here. I don't know some of the people's usernames versus their Twitter names and stuff like that. So if you're in here and you want me to shout you out or sauce your team or whatever, let me know. We'll see what we're all about here. Picking from the 4 hole. You can see what my ranks are versus ADP. Ran pretty hot on Jefferson early, which might have been a bad thing, but now I can pull up some other players and get different combos, I guess. I suppose that works. Kind of unfortunate that he's been dropping and I was getting a lot of them from the 2 hole, but what are you going to do about that, right? Bijan goes at 1, Jamar Chase at 2. Already off to a fun start when you get Jamar Chase in the 2 hole, right? I mean, am I just taking Gibbs? I think I am here. Let's do it. Jahmyr Gibbs, welcome to the team. I mean, if he has a season like he had last year, plus anything more, like if they give him more of the workload, that just seems wheels up for him. It was kind of between him and Saquon there. You can make a case for both of them. Obviously, we saw what Saquon did last year, and if he repeats it, would it really surprise anyone because the Eagles don't look a hell of a lot different? At least that's the way I'm looking at it this year. Definitely need to mute the phone too. Forgot about that. Apologies on that one. Nothing egregious going on in the first round. The usual. Amon-Ra 8, I guess, is a little bit early. Pook at 9. Even see Justin Jefferson now falling. I got my 17% of him. I was taking him from the 2 slot. I was getting a ton of the 2s and just ignoring the running backs because of what comes back here. But now with him falling there, I might get some of him there. But I'm more or less going to be pulling up CeeDee Lamb and the running backs to the 2 and 3 spot to level out some of my exposures there, depending on what contest it is. See, everybody went really balanced. Wide receiver, running back for the 10, 11, 12 hole. AJ Brown and Drake London. That's see Bowers is kind of what I was hoping would fall to me. Don't know that I'll take. I would probably like Tyreek Hill here. I would think the Saquon drafter takes him, but if he doesn't, I might just double up on JT and take 2 good running backs. I'll take Tyreek there. Balance it out a little bit. I don't want to go too running back heavy and get buried at wide receiver. Makes a CeeDee Lamb drafter have to think if he wants to take Bucky because he'll have other running backs coming back. But at 28, depending on what the wide receiver pool looks like, I'm not even opposed to just taking an elite quarterback here and being done with that. I mean, if you look at their ADPs, they're at 30.8 and 31.8. Are any of the wide receivers there game breakers if Higgins or Garrett Wilson go? Look at Lamar went at 25 already. 2 running backs and a Lamar. I mean, you might get, and there goes Josh Allen. So now I might take T. Higgins if he gets there. Trey McBride, even at 28. I think I'm going to do this just to, I mean, do what I said, right? Again, and what should be considered an elite player at three of the positions. I couldn't really, if I was going to take Hurts or Daniels, there would be quite a pull up for either of them. I guess you could take Kittle in the next round there, take T. Higgins and double up on wide receiver, but I kind of like Trey McBride in these contests there. The Amari and Hampton rise is real. You used to be able to get Hampton over here sometimes almost at the end of the fourth. Now he doesn't make it to the end of the third. T. Higgins at 31 is pretty unique. I would imagine in this contest that's pretty low owned, especially paired with Justin Jefferson and Lad McConkey. Yeah, that's not going to. That's a unique team for sure, especially with how fast this contest filled. Devontae Adams and Puka's interesting there as well. Rashee Rice at 35. I have a hard time taking him until he gets at least to like where I'm picking at here. That's a good build right there of getting an elite at every position, I think. I don't know that I'd take Hurts here if he made it back. I have to think about that. I think in these contests, you're building them a little bit different than you are like BBM and stuff, just because you got to actually get out. You can't just bank on top two. All right, so I would have Tet here, Xavier Worthy. I'm thinking my rank is exactly that because Pickens went before me. It'd be Tet if he's there. Cortland Sutton goes, I want to see. Yeah, it's just going to be Tet for right now. I think that's a good pick on that side of the board. It could be him, could be Xavier Worthy, but I make a case for either one. As you can see, Xavier Worthy goes the next pick. So I suppose my thought process is in line there. Surprised DJ Moore's still going that early. It feels like with the Camp News, Colston Loveland and Luther Burden that he would probably fall a little bit more. Take DK Metcalf if he gets here. That'd be great on this team. Do I need my second running back or let's have some fun? Let's take JMO for the correlation. So we've got Jahmyr Gibbs and JMO, both from the Lions, both explosive players. It probably should, if the Lions are going to play in a lot closer games, they're going to see a lot more of the game script where they have to. It won't be because their defense is bad, but because they're playing better teams. So you figure if you've got JMO and Gibbs both popping off big plays, should be a way into a lot of points. I'll have to watch. I have 3 week 8 buys, so I'll have to split that up the rest of this team somehow. I suppose at this point you could almost make Goff a priority, just with JMO and Gibbs both being on the team. Could think about Kyler at 93 if I wanted to double tap between Kyler and Goff. They have same week 8 buy, though, is the only thing I don't like there. So I guess we'll push Kyler a little bit, and if not, we've got Goff. The running back range does get gross after let Kamara and Connor go off the board here, as Kamara and Connor go off the board. So, but we've got Gibbs, Hero RB. Let's do it. Starting to wonder about Debo if he could be just this blatantly obvious pick that was in front of our face all summer with Jaden Daniels. Cliff Kingsbury offense, a lot of screen game. Debo built for that kind of workload. I would think that the T. Higgins drafter should have no problem getting Burrow at 66 if he doesn't go to one of these guys beforehand. Man, this RB range is just not fun, is it? If anything, it'd probably be Caleb Johnson or Jaden Reed at 65. Okay. Now we're cooking. Chris Olave goes there. That might have been my pick. Suppose if he gets there, Jordan Addison would be a bring back. I'm kind of surprised that guy didn't take. I guess it's if you want to try and push him, but he's probably not going to get by Jamar Chase. Well, he did take Josh Allen, so I guess I can see why he pushed it there. Jerry Judy there. I think I just take Addison here for the bring back. Yeah, I'm not too worried about what time he'll miss yet. Enough of a fall. Splits up another bye week where I can get a spike week wide receiver. And wide receiver in core is fun. I don't know if I double tap. Eh, I guess I can see what I got an idea what I could do here. Got both Tony Pollard and Aaron Jones. Caleb Johnson probably won't make it back, but if he does, I'd probably take him. Burrow goes to the one hole with Lamar. No other pieces of that game. Okay. Caleb Johnson goes the pick before. I could take Pacheco. I think that's probably the thing to do right now. As much as I would like Steph Diggs on this team, take Pacheco and shore up my other running back spot. That way I have a good floor ceiling combo at running back, and I should be able to just it gives me our split up. Not that I care much about the bye weeks, but at least it's not week 8. And Pacheco, per the reports that we just looked at, should be the clear 1A. Steph Diggs goes next pick, so you can see where my head's at. And Pollard was the other one that I was between. So it feels like the board is tightening up as we get later in the summer. I did not click that. Sorry if that showed up for you guys. Emeka Egbuka is the other pick in that range that I like. He's been getting all the camp buzz so far. I like pairing him there, and then if you can if I like putting him here if in the early 70s, and then if you can get Baker back here because it usually goes pretty quick. 94 is his ADP, so yeah, that falls in line. And Baker goes. This is why you got to do it because if not, he goes to the Mike Evans drafter. And with the Godwin fall, you don't know where he'll line up on the board, so I usually just take him. If I'm taking Egbuka, I'll take him over here, and if Baker makes it back, I just take him there. Would like Aaron Jones to get back, but I doubt he will. What's Goff's ADP? 122, so I should be able to push him to 117, but the Amon-Ra drafter has Hurts already. Laporta goes there without a quarterback. That might be why I can't push Goff. Neighbors, yeah, he's going to have a lot of his quarter. If Caleb's gone, by the time it gets back to me, I'm probably going to take Goff, I think. Yeah, he probably won't go by then. Yeah, see, I'm kind of glad I grabbed Pacheco when I did because the rest of the running backs started going off the board. Is Mahomes with Pacheco worth it here? Is my question. I don't know how much I like doing that with Kelsey. I'm probably not gonna. Another week 8 bye. That's the only thing I don't like, but it is a bring back with Tet, was what I was thinking there for week 17. And it's Cooper Cup, who we've seen what he can do. Not that I especially love the click there. Just wonder if I should take Goff with this next pick or try and push him back. I'm worried the Laporta drafter is going to take him. He does have options, though. Kyler goes there. I would have probably taken Kyler there with McBride. I think now I'm just going to lock up the double stack and take Goff. It's ahead of ADP by like, he usually falls back over here, but I've got a double stack and I don't want to get him sniped. I also have the bring back with Addison if it gets there to week 17. So I don't hate it. A little bit early. Pretty much I pulled him up around. He'd go right here. But with the way the team's built out, if you're your first round pick and getting JMO to fall into the 5th, that's probably a good idea there, especially with the quarterbacks I can stack later. The other thought was taking Mahomes if he came back with Pacheco, and then you could, either try and push Kelsey. Well, yeah, you could put, Kelsey went there, so I can see that's what he was trying to do. All right, so that wouldn't have worked anyhow. Glad I saw that. But what I was thinking is you could take Mahomes there. You have the offense with Pacheco, and then you could backstack Kelsey or Hollywood Brown. Or Jalen Royal, something fun like that. But this is probably not a range where I'm going to be taking another quarterback anytime soon. I don't think J.J. McCarthy's in the plans with Jordan Addison. Zach Charbonnet, yet another week 8 bye. I could really fall behind at week 8 if I'm not careful about that. Drake May there. So I could take Tyler Warren, feels okay there. Is that enough of a fall on Scadabo? Yeah, let's try that. Even though week 14, I think that's okay there. Gives me another running back, even though we left practice yesterday. What was this? Ends practice with the trainer. I guess I gotta get that out of the way. Seemingly minor leg injury. We'll see what happens. It's Cam Scadabo. I think he'll tough it out. Do have a Denver bring back with Marvin Mims there if I want that. Do I have to worry about my other quarterbacks yet? Probably not. Unless I was going to take J.J. McCarthy. He went over there at 111. Okay, so that's not happening. Christian Kirk or Marvin Mims probably a pick here. Ramondre also, he did put okay, so Christian Kirk goes there. Would I like another running back here? Let's just take Marvin Mims for the bring back again. We've got Kansas City game with Pacheco. Gets us to our 6 wide receivers at a decent time. What if I? That's a little bit better. I don't know if that's any better for you guys or not. Yeah, it looks like it is. So through 11 rounds, or back end of the 11th round, 1-3-6-1, Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Isaiah Pacheco, Cam Scadabo, Tyreek Hill, Ted Roa McMillan, Jameson Williams, Jordan Addison, Cooper Kupp, Marvin Mims, Trey McBride. Don't particularly love the wide receiver room, but it's got some good firepower up top. At least if Addison misses early, these guys' bye weeks aren't until week 8. So if he comes back by week 8, then I should be able enough now. I think I have enough now where I can get out of that where I'm not too worried about the week 8 anymore. I have to think about who we're going to do for our second quarterback here. I suppose Bryce would be on the menu. We did lean into that game a little bit. He's got a little bit of rushing upside too. Bryce would be one of them. Tua could be another if he makes it. Yeah, he's 150. So one of those two will probably get there. Rachaad White would be a bring back for Tyreek, and he should have a role in the offense, I would think. At what point in time does Quinshon Judkins get to be an interesting pick? Probably about right then when he goes, huh? Tank Bigsby also hit. What's his ADP around 150? That's going to climb now that he's been getting reports. Could have Hollywood here for another bring back or another piece of the Denver KC game. I think I like Rachaad White better at this point. Yeah, Hollywood goes there, so I believe this is going to be currently Rachaad White. I think that's what I feel best about there. Splits up all my running back. It gives us our fourth running back. All the buys are split up where you've got Jahmyr Gibbs with your ceiling play, and then 3 guys could be floor and potentially ceiling plays week to week. You have to get a second tight end before long, but we'll see if Tua or Bryce goes here. One of them will probably be the pick, just given what their ADPs are. 150 and 154, yeah. I think take the second one here. Do I want Tua or do I want Bryce is the question. That's tough, huh? One of them will be there. Make my decision for me. Take one of them. Okay, you didn't. So probably won't be able to put. Let's see, what game are we more invested in? I did take Tyreek with my second round pick after Gibbs, so let's just take Tua. Lock that up, I guess. Jared Goff and Tua. Jahmyr Gibbs, Pacheco, Cam Scatabo, Rachaad White for the bring back with the two. I guess I should refresh that. Maybe it'll show up better. There we go. Now Rachaad White with the bring back in the Miami game with Tyreek Hill. Jordan Addison with the bring back, J-Mo and Jared Goff. We'll need to fill out a little bit more of the tight end room, but team's not bad. Sort this by ADP is what's fun too. I can go over here and I can see like with Jahmyr Gibbs what combo I have with these players. So you can see I've taken with Dylan Sampson sometimes. So if something gets here that's interesting, I could make a unique combo for something I've built. Cedric Tillman, if he got back there, I'd probably have to take, I feel like, just for my 7th wide receiver. I don't know that he will. What other fun Miami pieces could I bring in here? Darren Waller, if I want my second tight end, he's got a different bye week than McBride at least. Jalen Wright could be part of the team. Jonnu, if he got here, I'd have to think about. Even with his ADP being later, I've ranked him higher than that just with the goal line work and stuff that he's been getting in practice. Yeah, maybe I should take more running backs before then. Jalen McMillan, also fun for the Miami game with their wide receiver core outside of Igbuka being a little more aged. Suppose that could be a good click there. Dubs makes it to there. If Tillman gets there, I might just have to take him. I mean, that's such a fall. It's him or Jalen, right? Tyler Algier goes there at 149. I'm just taking Tillman. I don't care who the quarterback is. 16 picks after ADP. It's a different bye week from my bye week 8. If the Browns are going to be behind, he's going to see some work. McMillan was my other thought there, but I was going to see if I could get him back too. Maybe make this 2-5-8-3. Unless I wanted to take Sam Darnold with Cooper Cup. I don't know that I love that particularly. Probably something you got to think about though if it's there, right? Is there another tight end in this range I like? Outside of Janu, not particularly. Is there another running back? Take Rico Dowdle for my 5th running back. It's ahead of ADP, but it's also in that same game with Tet. Bet on the Panthers offense, even without Bryce Young. That might be the end of my running backs based on what I have there. I could take a 6 based on the fact I'll probably only take 2 tight ends. I don't love this team, don't hate it. Can Trey McBride without Kyler get there? I almost feel like I need a third quarterback with rushing upside. So this probably be a 3-5-8-2. Right? I'm thinking that's what it'll be. Jahmyr Gibbs for your hero running back, and then these guys are just spiking into the lineup. I think I've got an idea what we can do if it gets there. Glad I didn't take Waller when I did, even though I was thinking about it because he's been falling. But I still feel like, what else are they going to do in that offense at tight end? It's kind of where I'm at with it. But who's to say their offense will be functional? Anthony Richardson was going to be my thought if he made it back, but he goes right there. So probably have to. I mean, Sam Darnold would still be there at 189. By week 8 as well, but I do have Cooper Cup with a Tet McMillan bring back in the week 17 game. So might have to think about it there. Seems so late to want Sam Darnold, especially when you have 2 pocket passers. I think I'm going to go a different direction there. We'll need a second tight end, so maybe we have a game plan here. Thielen goes there. Would have thought about him. God, his bye week's 8 as well is what sucks. Do I care about that? Not really. Whatever, I'll eat a 0 at 1 week for tight end. I don't think it'll kill you in this contest. the rest of it's right, probably won't even matter. But it's also another way into the Carolina game. And then in the event that Darnold comes back in the 17th round, I'd probably take him at 196, double stacked with Cooper Kupp and Elijah Arroyo. I feel like I'd have to at that point. And then take another wide receiver. Okay, Darnold goes there. So let's find a wide receiver that's fun in this range. Any bringbacks for anything in this range? Pat Bryant would be a bringback on Kansas City. I guess at 196, he's not the worst click, is he? Deontay Johnson goes there. Okay. Let's find a wide receiver. Who do we like? I mean, if you're going to take somebody that's done it before all the way down here, I suppose DeAndre Hopkins is somebody that you could take. I didn't have any pieces of that game, but just for, I mean, it's at 196 and it's D Hop. He splits all my other bye weeks, so if he spikes in week 8 when I need him, sweet. I think I got an idea who my last click will be. Just to kind of tie this together, maybe. Let's see what fun clicks we've got going on here in the last round. Jarquez Hunter, DJ Giddens, NWI, Ray McLeod. All makes sense. Deontay Johnson's been creeping up a little bit. I guess I don't have the board up there. You guys can see that. But Deontay Johnson's been creeping up in here. I've seen him go up a few times now in the 17th and 18th round in the last couple weeks. Since the camp buzz. Now that the training camp buzz is picking up, a lot of people start getting clicked more that weren't getting clicked earlier in the summer. Like, for instance, Cavante Turpin and Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Darren Waller will not be the click there. I'm not taking a third tight end, I don't believe, with the two I have. I mean, I could fill that in. Try and get... Do I need to fill week 8? But you don't even know who's going to score, so I'll just eat the 0 if it happens. I think I know who I'm going to take here. Woody Marks goes. He's been catching some buzz with all the uncertainty in the Houston running back room. Nick Chubb looking like he's older than me somehow. Higbee would have been a thought if I needed somebody to try and get a week 8 spike, but I think I'm just going to eat the 0 there in week 8 and not worry about it. It's tight end. If people are running one tight end builds and being successful with it, I'm not worried about the 2 when I get a 0 in the week, especially with the capital. If they're spending 1 and taking Bowers, I'm not worried about the 2 when I take McBride there and Elijah Arroyo. Torrey Horton been getting some camp buzz too. That'd be fun. But I don't know that I want to make that 2.592. It seems a bit rich. But because both of my quarterbacks are pocket passers and pretty much statues, I'm going to take Milrow for the bring back in the Panthers game in the last week. So it stacks Milrow with Cooper Kupp. Not that I think that's a great way to play the game, but still, if that offense is better and then he takes over by week 17 and that game shoots out in any way, shape, or form, I have Ted McMillan and Rico Dowdle along with Jalen Milrow, so it seems okay. Final team there, 3-5-8-2, Jared Goff, Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Milrow, Jahmyr Gibbs, and J-Mo both stacked with Goff, Isaiah Pacheco, Cam Scatterbo, Rashad White, Rico Dowdle, Tyreek Hill, Tedoroa McMillan, J-Mo Jordan Addison, Cooper Kupp, Marvin Mims, Cedric Tillman, DeAndre Hopkins, Trey McBride, Elijah Rose, the tight end room. Double bye week 8, I'll eat the 0 at tight end for a week and hopefully just still win the pod. Completed. what was that? The flock contest. There it was. I passed it already once. Name this one. And go back to the lobby, and we're just going to rip another one of these right away. I don't think anybody will be mad. I don't think anybody's waiting to get in here. I've got one left. I'm doing it now. Waiting on 6. So if you've got any of these left and you want to draft in the flock community contest, get in here with me. Question is it still really... Yeah, I guess let's see. I wonder if I could do this on the fly. This would be fun, right? Let's try this. Thanks for bearing with me while I'm doing this, but let's see if we can change this up. Let's just put that on there. All right. And then let's go to this. Switch this over. Only waiting on 3 more, so this will fill pretty quick. I want that in here. There we go. Switch that over a little bit. Change that out on the fly. Not too bad there, huh? I hate how that does it when I go to pop it up there and put it on the other screen. I wish I could do it faster. So let's see. Oh, I got to have that there for you guys. Okay, that's a little bit better then. Anybody we know in here? The Duke? Manta Nobody that I know off the top of my head, but if you're in here and you're watching, if you want to draft, if you want me to shout you out, if you want me to sauce your team, let me know. Influencer 101. What do you know? I think I'm just going to go ahead and do the crazy thing, take Jamar Chase. You can see over here with the best ball overlay, the combinatorial ownerships that I have. I wonder if in this contest, maybe you shouldn't push Burrow and just take the stack if you have Chase. I was just thinking about that. Because it's going to be a smaller contest anyhow. Anybody trying to push Burrow, it's probably not going to happen. So if you have Chase, you probably want Burrow. Is my thought process there? Always curious to see where Christian McCaffrey's going now too. He's been bumped. I was taking him a lot in the big board and stuff at like when he was late or early second round. Now he's halfway into the first again. What do you think? Can I late night it up a little bit? How much daylight we got? Probably not a lot. Let's do this. Yeah, there we go. Since we're just up in the little window now and it don't really matter. Turn down the ambient lighting a little bit. I guess that does give a little bit of reflection up on the poster board there, but not the end of the world, I don't think. I forget to pull up the board for you guys to watch because I'm watching it on my other screen. So Drake London, AJ Brown, Jonathan Taylor. Amon Ra with Nico's nice. The way that fell, Ashton Genty. Tyreek Hill got pulled. I pulled up Ashton Genty with Tyreek Hill. Okay, so I'll get some sort of unique combo here. I wonder how much I should worry about taking Burrow at 49 if he gets there. I probably will. What does the Bijan drafter do? And then I'll be on it. He goes T. Higgins. Do I want to take Trey McBride again? Is my question. Yes. Trey McBride in 2 of the contest, both in the 3rd round. Fine by me. I don't have much confidence in anyone else in the Cardinals receiving game, to be honest with you. At least not until they sign Keenan Allen or something. Okay, so this guy wants to play the battle me game. I see what you're up to there. He's got both the Cincy and Arizona pieces. So one of us is getting Kyler and one of us is getting Burrow, probably. Sorry about that. Bad streaming. I can pull the board back up. Guy in the 3 hole kind of did what I did last round, where he took in the lead at 3 positions. So I did it with Gibbs. Actually, that one might have been in PPR Tyler's draft. Chase Brown really doesn't make it past the middle of the 3rd anymore. I think there was a little board 2 or something where I got Chase Brown back here at 48. Marty and Hampton at 31. He doesn't make it to the end of the 3rd anymore. The Puka drafter misses out by Devontae by 1, which I let happen last time. Let it happen again in order to take Trey McBride. You can kind of see how everybody's building somewhat balanced teams. Pretty much everyone has a running back other than the 9 hole. Kenneth Walker goes at 36. So this guy's over here making the unique combos because he put Genty and Walker there with Tyreek. So this room will get a little bit unique. Let's see what happens here. Curious what the Marvin Harrison and T. Higgins drafter right next door to me is doing. Terry McLaurin gets paired up with Josh Allen. Interesting. He takes Hurts with AJ Brown because he was staring Jaden Daniels, and one of these guys will have to take Jaden Daniels. I'm pretty sure. If not, I'll take him if he gets there and pair him up with someone later. Maybe not. Man, that is so tough to not take Jaden Daniels and push Burrow if he gets there. Jaden Daniels goes there. Okay, so let's do George Pickens for one. And I got to think about if I should take Burrow here. Bye week 10 kind of sucks, but I think in this contest, having Jamar Chase and with the T. Higgins drafter being right after me, I'm just going to take him there. You already took Jaden Daniels. I probably could have pushed it, but you don't know if somebody randomly over here, especially with 3 badgeless drafters at the end of the board, his ADP being 62, he'd probably just go. So I'm just going to take Burrow with Chase there. I'm probably not going to take Dak later because of the week 10 buys, so I'll have to worry about a different quarterback. Oh, maybe I should have pushed that. I wanted to try it once in this contest, especially having Chase. I would hate to have Chase and not have Burrow, I guess, when you only get 3 of them. I could still take Dak, I guess. I wouldn't be worried about the week 10 by burying me at quarterback, but I'm probably going to look to build a different stack out from there. Plus, I also have the Trey McBride bring back, so it's just like, go ahead and do it. I suppose that's just the way to handle that when you've only got a 3 entry max. If I was in the middle of the board, I'd probably play it different based, or, not on the turn. But I've got to wait 22 picks for Burrow to come back. I just don't see it happening. Service the audio listeners, a 1-1-2-1. Joe Burrow, Bucky Irving, Jamar Chase, George Pickens, Trey McBride through 5 rounds. Kamara's been getting some steam. He went at 55 there. Kind of surprised the Lamar drafter didn't take Zay there. It would have been probably ahead of ADP, so I get it, but still. This guy's team is totally unique, always getting guys that normally don't go on the right side of the board, putting them on the right side of the board. So this is a fun back and forth we got going here because I'm all the way at the left. I doubt they'll let James Conner follow me. I'd probably take him if he did. Probably going to be in the wide receiver business coming back here just because we've already made so many deviations. Even though we have 2 good wide receivers, I still don't want to get behind. Don't want to get buried in these underdog rooms. Debo would be a click. Well, he goes, so that's not going to happen. This range gets a little yuck. But if you need wide receivers, it's not too bad. Buka would pair with Bucky. So he could probably be one of them. He'll be one of them. Who does my other click want to be? Do I need another running back yet, or am I not worried about it? Let's take Buka with one, and I think I'll take Pearsall with the other, right? That works for me. Let's try that. So to pair up, we've got two younger wide receivers and two guys that split the week 10 buys just to try and fill that out a little bit earlier. I'm not too worried about that. But I'm going to see if I can get Baker back here and then be done at quarterback. Or at least for a while. Sometimes he gets back, sometimes he don't. That's what I always try and do. From if I can get that turn and push Baker all the way back, that's what I'm going to do. Just given the Emeka Egbuka camp buzz, things of that nature. I don't know if I like taking another quarterback that soon. But if I did, I'd probably be done at 2. What it did, it opened me up to my second quarterback right on that turn with both Kyler and Baker, where then I could just be done. All their buys split. If I took Baker, if anything, it would be a third quarterback way late. Maybe somebody with more rushing upside than Burrow or Baker. But if I get Kyler, then I'm probably done at 2 because I stacked him with McBride. I think that's correct. So maybe this guy's building into the Seattle game because he's got Cooper Kupp in Seattle now, or Cooper Kupp and Kenneth Walker. Everybody pushing quarterback on this side of the board. I guess you wouldn't be in range to take him yet, but you'd start to be. Do I want both quarterbacks in that Cincy game? It seems kind of suboptimal, but I might take it if it's there. And now we're going to see the quarterbacks start to go. Jordan Mason, TJ Hawkinson, Bo Nix. This is where we'll probably be making a decision on quarterback if we have to. This guy goes Kyler. We'll take Jalen Warren with the first one. Think about if I need to take Baker here. Should I? I have him double stacked. I probably should. Let's just do it. Hate spending that much capital at quarterback, but I'll probably be done after that, unless it's like 18th round or something. 2-2-4-1. Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield. Burrow stacked with Chase, Bucky Irving, or Baker stacked with Bucky Irving and Emeka Egbuka. George Pickens, Ricky Pierce, all the one-offs. Trey McBride for the bringback in the Cincinnati game. Should probably look for some sort of Miami bringbacks later in the contest. Justin Fields was my other thought there on the corner. If I just wanted to pair Burrow with a rushing upside quarterback, take Justin Fields and be done. But I thought with having the Tampa double already, it's probably worth just taking Baker. Make an overall bet on the Tampa offense, the young up-and-coming rookie and the running back that we saw do it last year. This is the quarterback pocket for sure right in here. So I doubt I'll be taking Dak. That's too much capital. Yeah, I'm not going to be taking another quarterback until, if anything, it's probably be Rodgers right now. In which case, I guess I could look for Cleveland bringbacks if they were in this range. I also have Luther Burden and Colston Loveland. I'd hate to take another tight end that soon, though. Kind of made the bet on McBride. Quinshawn's always an interesting pick too, especially when you have like a three tournament max. Somebody's got to take him if his ADP doesn't drop to 216. I have Luther Burden would be a bring back with Ricky Pearsall. Is there anything else in this range that I particularly care about? Not really, huh? I'm not touching another quarterback again for a while. I just can't. I spent the capital already. Maybe should take a running back in this range. Tyler Warren would have been a thought. I hate to spend. I guess you could be done at tight end if you took one here. Quinshawn Judkins ADP is 115. I don't think I want to do that. Let's take Charbonnet and get our third running back. Nothing else in this range is particularly interesting. So let's just get another wide receiver and make sure we stay ahead of that curve. Christian Kirk also gives me options for another later tight end if I want it. Definitely was a wide receiver run right there. None of those guys played into anything I had going though. I guess if anything, no, really, nothing really there that correlated at all. Just give me the demon and we'll go on about it. Bye weeks are also. I got rid of that bye week 10 worry pretty quick. Not too concerned with that now. Really just didn't want to get buried anymore there at wide receiver with what I had done already. Taking Burrow there early to stack with Chase kind of had to. But we're all right. Rashad White, I don't want to do with Bucky. Trey Benson, I would do, though. Cedric Tillman, also a bring back for my Jalen Ward in week 16. Feels like he's a little bit underpriced still, too. Would be right at my turn, though, so kind of the point you'd have to make the click. Trey Benson correlated for that game. I think would have to go there and probably Cedric Tillman. I don't think anybody else in there matters to me really, unless I was going to take Leggett and try, but I don't really even want to get into the Bryce Young sweepstakes. I think I've made my bet at quarterback. Najee would also be interesting there, but I don't think that's the route I'm going to go. I think this will be it right here. They both make sense. I don't want to take Rashad White. It would be interesting to take Rashad White, though, wouldn't it? I don't usually cuck myself like that. So we'll do that instead. Trey Benson, bye weeks are split up pretty. I mean, they have the same bye week, but they're both kind of contingent plays anyhow. And if the starter gets hurt, then I mean they're just right. They're both right into the starting lineup. Not much worries about who's behind them. Cedric Tillman's a bring back for Jalen Warren there. I'll have to get another tight end at some point, but I'm not too worried about it with where I took McBride. He should be in the starting lineup almost every week. 2-4-6-1. We'll let this drop all the way back to us. Trey Benson was probably a good click there because look at the running backs. It all went right after him. We got 5 picks left. This most likely will be a 2-5-8-3 or 3-5-8-2. With the capital we spent at Bucky, I think it should be a 5 running back. It could be 6. See how the board shakes out, but that's kind of where my head's at there. Jalen Wright would probably be a good click with the correlation if he comes back. McMillan also gives me another stack. This is where best ball overlay comes in clutch at this point in the draft because you can just see where your correlation is by ADP and what you need. Pretty easy to find what you're looking for. K. Dotton if I want my other tight end. This right here is what makes best ball overlay worth every single penny. Because inherently you're going to end up with different quarterbacks. You're going to end up with different bringbacks and stuff like that when you get down to this point in the draft. And based on the contest, where do I want more running back allocation? Do I want more wide receiver allocation? Do I need an elite quarterback? Do I need their stacking partners? But all this real easy to find once it gets down to here. In addition to all the portfolio management and stuff like that. Question is, do I need my second tight end here or do I just push it down? He goes Algier. I think those are pretty much obvious clicks for me there, aren't they? With the correlation I have. Jalen Wright's one for the bring back. Jalen McMillan is the other for the stack. So I got the 2 young wide receivers from Tampa along with Bucky Irving. Baker Mayfield, Joe Burrow stacked with Jamar Chase. Bring back Trey McBride. If I want to get a third quarterback, I could later, but I don't even know if I'll be in that business. Probably a 5 running back build now with where I'm at. Be a 3-5-8-2 or 2-5-8-3. The bet on this is that the Tampa receivers, Godwin's still not healthy and probably misses most of the season or a chunk of it. And Edmonds finally hits the age cliff. I don't know if I would want K. Dotton for the Tampa onslaught, but it's definitely something you could do. Recap for the audio listeners. Joe Burrow with Jamar Chase. Trey McBride bring back. Baker Mayfield stacked with Bucky Irving, Mecca Igbukah, Jalen McMillan. Jalen Wright bring back for both those games. Week 16 and 17, Cincy and Tampa Bay. I've got the Trey Benson bring back for the Cincy game in 17 as well. Jalen Warren, Zach Charbonnet are the other 2 running backs. George Pickens, Ricky Pearsall, Christian Kirk, Cedric Tillman, the other wide receivers. Still need to fill out the tight end room. Probably another wide receiver in here somewhere. Yeah, just based on the fact that I stopped at 73 and then didn't pick up again until later. So it'd be a 2-5-8-3 or 3-5-8-2. Taj Brooks also worth a thought. there when you have the Bengals stack. Best ball overlay clutch again. We can go back to the board here so you guys can see who some of these late round camp hype picks are. I forget when I'm on the corner. I don't have to watch the board as much. I can pull up this for you guys. Johnny at 184, Alec Pierce 185, Dante Thornton. Gesicki would have been worth a thought there if he made it to me. I do have Kate Otten, though. How thin is my running back room? I feel all right about that. Happens or it don't, right? Adam Thielen for a bring back in the Tampa game. I mean, that just feels way too low for Adam Thielen, right? How's the bye weeks there? Absolutely fine to do that. Let's take Thielen for one more go round. And then just Kate Otten for the stack. Sure. We already made a bet on the Tampa offense. We got one pick left. Currently a 2.582. Kind of saw how this was going to play out. Could be a 2.682. Wouldn't hate a third quarterback with rushing upside. Let's see who would give us that. Maybe Milrow. That's probably about it. And the only piece I guess I have Charbonnet and Thielen, so Milrow's worth a thought there. If I wanted a sixth running back, either of those. I think it would probably be one of those three if they get there. Not that I think they'll all three get there, but Rico Dowdle go. I mean, that's way too late for Rico Dowdle. That's what I've been saying all summer. He shouldn't even be where he's at in ADP. If the Panthers are going to run the ball like you think they will. If I get Taj Brooks with the last pick in the draft, I'll take him. And just make it a 2.682. If not, I don't really like outside of Milrow. Could take Ollie Gordon for a big leverage play with both. Oh, no, I already have Jalen Wright. Never mind. Dylan Gabriel goes at 205. Also interesting. D-Hop at 206. I mean, I can see why people make the clicks they make down here usually. Move the overlay out of you guys' way so you can watch the rest of the draft. Kareem Hunt seems like a good pick there. Words are he's the 1B in Kansas City. Pacheco, then Kareem Hunt, then Elijah Mitchell from the latest report that I saw. Yoshabasco's there. I guess I could move this out of the way over there. Will Shipley, Josh Reynolds. You see some of the Isaac Tesla hype. He's been getting bumped up into like 17th round. MVS. Diami Brown, drafter. He has Tyler Algier, Rashad White. He goes Jarquez Hunter. I am going to take Taj Brooks there for 2.682. Just to complete the stack with Burrow. Seems like too good of a pick there in the last. I wonder if it'll pull it up. No, I'll have to go to this. Flock Community Contest. There's the team. Joe Burrow, Baker Mayfield, Bucky Irving, Jalen Warren, Zach Charbonnet, Trey Benson, Jalen Wright, Taj Brooks, Jamar Chase Pickens, Mekhi Igbu. It's kind of a Bucks onslaught there what I end up making it with the later wide receivers, but I wanted to split the Burrow buy after taking them early, so I figure it's a good way to get spike week pieces. A lot of contingent running backs with Bucky Irving. Pretty solid wide receiver room, especially the top. I mean, you're top heavy with the first two, and then a lot of guys that you're hoping spike. Pearsall should get a workload. More leaning into the Tampa offense more than anything else. Let's name this one. And go back to the lobby. No, I'm not active. I want to go to NFL. What's the Husky at? I haven't done any of them. I should probably rip one. I already maxed that, so I can't do that. Could do weekly winners. Should I wait and do that? I mean, you know what? Let's do one of these right now. Let's do a Husky. Wait now. Let's see how fast it fills. If it fills any sort of quickly, this could be a time of day where that's tough to fill, though, is what I'm wondering. I mean, outside of that, not really much else to do currently. Waiting on 9, so we'll give it a minute, and if not, then I might just fire up another stream later. Because this could be a tough one to fill. It's a $40 contest this time of day. I might just come back and stream this later. Some other people will be coming on later. I think that might be all I'm doing for right now. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for right now. So if you like this content, if you enjoyed the stream, if anybody actually watched this at this hour, probably not much of that going on, do me a favor, toss me a like and a sub. I'm going to come back and try and do these more. I don't know what, probably around this time, but I'll probably be doing more BBMs and stuff now, or as other contests drop, start doing more of those. I don't really want to do a Husky right now without having all the other stuff pulled up where I could actually send a link out to get somebody to do it, because at this hour, that's not the easiest thing. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. This has been Best Ball on Call. I'm your host, Anthony. We'll be doing these early in the morning whenever I get a chance, so make sure you have your notifications on. Make sure you like and sub so you can get in here and draft with me so I'm not just talking to myself all the time. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great day.